Hi everyone, this is Board Games and Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to talk to you about Sushi Roll, which is the newest iteration of Sushi Go. It's put out by Game Right Games. It takes 20 minutes, 2 to 5 players, and I gotta say, it is my favorite iteration of the game so far, and that includes Sushi Go, Sushi Party, and now Sushi Roll. I also enjoy it more than its contemporary. I consider Point Salad among its friends, but I like this a little bit more because of the player interaction. Now, similar to Sushi Go, your point in the game is to score the most points over 3 rounds. You're going to do that both with short-term goals and long-term gambling. Short-term, you're trying to get not cards, but dice, and dice are going to come in a big bag like this, full of big, beautiful dice. And let me pull some out here to show you. Nice and clunky, nicely etched in there, really nice. Okay, and these represent the cards in the game from Sushi Go. You're trying to score short-term points by getting dice of certain values, but long-term, you still want to have pudding that'll score you extra points. On top of Sushi Go, we also have tokens that represent swaps and rerolls, and they let you interact more directly with the other players, and at the end of the game, they're going to be worth points. Something I enjoy about this as well is that it gives you tokens so you can keep track of your scores without needing paper and writing things down. You're also going to get these player mats that sit right in front of you, and they tell you exactly how everything scores. Now, before I actually show you how to play it, I'm going to bring this up here and kind of explain it to you. Okay, so the first thing you're looking at here is telling you if you get the white die in the game, they're worth 1 point each. If you get these that have the orange face, they're worth 2. This is worth 3. Then you have all of these right here. We're just going to call them the reds, okay? You are going to get the amount that is written on there, either 1s, 2s, or 3s. At the end of the round, if you have the most, you get 6 points. If you have the second most, you get 3. That applies even in a 2-player game. With these over here that are blue with the different colors on the front, if you have 1, 2, if you have 2, you get 4. If you have 3, you get 8. Over here with these like shrimp tempuras, you get 1, 5, or 10 depending on how many you have. Over here, you get 0, 6, or 13. So that one has the biggest swing there. You're really gambling. These here that are the greens, these are kind of like modifiers. The wasabi here is worth nothing by itself, but it will multiply your white dice and give you greater amounts. The menus don't give you anything except they allow you to have rerolls. The chopsticks don't give you anything except you can swap, and the swapping is so cool because it lets you take a die off of your board and swap with someone else. You can really stick it to them and really go for points. But that's not a guarantee because they're dice. You have to roll each round, and it really plays out in a fun way. You also have the pudding that score at the end of the game, okay? So if you take puddings now, they actually are cumulative. In the start of the game, it even tells you when you start, you're going to get 2 of your swaps, 3 of your rerolls, and at the end of the game, you're going to score 1 point for every set of 2 tiles that are remaining between the swaps and the rerolls. So for our example of the gameplay, I'm going to play as 2 players. And in a 2-player game, each person grabs 8 dice, okay? And doing this is really going to show you the fun of how this steps it up from the other iterations. Let's see, that's 6, 7, 8. Now, kind of like in the original Sushi Go, you never know what you're going to get. You have this big pile of cards, and then you pick the right number. The problem is with the original Sushi Go is that when you're doing that, let's suppose you wanted to score your pudding. You don't really know how many pudding are going to be in there. And so you're not really sure what you should be going for. That problem is solved in Point Salad because in Point Salad, there's a fixed number of every kind of card. So you don't have to worry that much. This one solves that problem in a different way. Now here, you're still grabbing your dice. Do I have 8? Yep, I do. Okay, you're still grabbing your dice or your cards kind of blindly, but the information is fully available for everyone. When you play Sushi Go, the cards are like this and you're not sure what's in the hand. Here, everyone is going to be able to see, but you still can't bank on that because you do have to roll. Okay, so what's going to happen is you get these little, conveyor belts, they call them, but they're just the holder for the dice. The one with the red goes first. And so what's going to happen is everyone is going to roll their 8 dice. That's so many dice. Can you get a good look at how cool those dice are? You're going to roll. Okay. And you're going to get your dice here. You're going to take a gander, and you're going to decide what you want to go for. This person over here is going to roll as well. Okay. Nice assortment there. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, my first choice depends if I'm a gambler or not. I want to get the 6-point bonus at the end, so I'm going to go ahead and take one die and I'm going to put it there. The other person now gets to go, and if they were so determined, what they might do is they might go for, they're going to take a gamble, and they're going to take the wasabi there. Okay, now remember, that's a 3 multiplier. Once that's done, now you swap. Now what you get here is not guaranteed, because now that after you swapped, you have to do it again. You have to roll. Okay, so what you pull isn't necessarily what you're stuck with, unlike in the original Sushi Go, you would be stuck. So at this point, I'm already ahead of that person, okay? So this person might not go here, but it won't even matter because now this person is player 1. What might they do? Well, looking over here, they could use a swap to swap to dice. I don't think they need to do that. What they could do is, I think what they're going to do is they're going to take the pudding because they want to have the most pudding at the end of the game. Now it's this person's turn. What do they want to do? Well, I think they want to lock up the fact that they're going to get the 6 points at the end of the round. So they are going to choose a swap. They're going to turn that in. They're going to take this die and they're going to huckster something over here and give them that popcorn looking thing. Okay, and that was the end of that turn. Now it swaps again. Now, you may think there really was no, great loss in using your swap, except for the fact that now you just lost a point overall. It makes it harder and harder as the rounds go on, because remember, every set of 2 gives you a point. Now it's this person's turn again. They don't really have anything that great, and I kind of wish I had that swap back. I'm going to spend a reroll. This person's spending all of their tokens. This isn't that great either. Well, all right, let's go for a 2-pointer. That's what you're going to do. Okay, now this person over here is going to go. They still have the wasabi sitting by itself. They're going to go ahead and grab this one right here, the orange, and they're going to put it on top. So what that means is this alone is worth 2, but because it sits on the wasabi, is going to be times 3. So now you have a 6-pointer right there, looking pretty good. It swaps one more time. And what we're going to do is at the end of this, I'm just going to score it as if it were the last round. Now they're going to swap. And I do really like the fact that you're never stuck with a bad hand, because you always have the option to re-roll or to swap. There's a lot of outs. There's also interfering directly with other people that I really enjoy. You know what? This person is going to go for it. They're going to take this right here. They're going to put it down. It's 0 now, but if you get a second one, that's worth 6, and that's pretty darn good. Okay, this person over here, again, you're so in the lead. You kind of painted yourself in a corner by getting all the reds. There's no way this person can catch up with you. Maybe what you could do is you could take a chopstick. Right, so you can use this. Okay, now you're going to swap again. Shwee! All right, now this person starts. 1 point, 1 point. They have a swap left over or a reroll that they could do. They're going to roll their hand, see what they have here. Nothing too fantastic. This person's going to roll over here as well. Okay. You know what they could do? Look, even if they got that, that's really not going to help them. I was going to say they could get the pudding, that's 2, but they would still come in second place. In a 2-player game, the person with the most pudding gets 6 points. Normally, the person with the fewest gets -6, but in a 2-player game, they don't apply that rule. I'm not really liking it. I'm going to spend a reroll again, and I'm going to reroll. Okay. Tragic. Okay, well, you can't really do anything, so you're going to go here and you're going to take a 2-pointer. Okay, now this person over here doesn't really have much they can do. Well, I guess you can take this and go for 2 points. So be it. Begin the swap. All right. Everyone rolls. We're getting towards the end of the round. The information is public, but you at least always have a way to escape, perhaps. This person wants to go ahead and take another 2-pointer. It makes sense. This person over here is going to do a swap. They're going to spend a swap. They're going to stick a single you know what? They're going to give them the pudding because the pudding doesn't matter. They're going to get it anyway. They're going to take this popcorn looking thing again. I always forget the real names and put it there. So now that they did that, they went up from 2 to 4 points. So slowly but surely they're catching up. Now they're going to swap again. It's going to go back here. Roll the last 2. Okay, well, actually, that's not too bad. Oh, you know what? I think I was supposed to give that person something. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so you have 3. You can actually take this 3 and negate their 3 and make sure they don't get 6 points. I think I'm totally doing that. This person's going to take that. Okay, now this person doesn't really have much of anything they can do. What they might want to do... They could get the double chopsticks and take 2 chopsticks cards. So you're paying 1 in, but you're getting 2 out. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to do a swap. They're going to pay the swap in. They're going to give them red. They're going to take this. They're going to cash in their chopstick there. And what that means is they're going to take 2 chopsticks. Now, what you're going to notice, these chopsticks are either going to have 1 or 2 on them. Let's see if I can get the camera to fix there. Yeah, 1 or 2, right? So they use that and they got 2, okay? And then lastly, they're going to swap again. Same die. Doesn't really matter. And kaboom. Okay, that goes there. Okay, so now if we had a score at the end of the game, what are we actually looking at? First, we're going to pretend like this is just the end of one round by itself. And we're going to start with this person here. Okay, so you have 2, 4. This is worth 6 because it's on wasabi, so they're at 10. They have this, that's worth 0. 10. Worth nothing because they'll get 3 points. So they're at 13. This is not worth anything. 13. And this is a tie. So they don't really get anything. Okay. So this person is going to get 13 points right now. Okay. And now we go over to this person here. And this person here clearly has the most red. So they're going to get 6 points immediately. They have 2 yellows. That is going to be worth 4 points. Let's take that off and give them 4 points. I'll give you a 5 and I'll take a 1 back. I'm good at making change. We have one of these here for 2 more points. It's close. 12 to 13. This is worth nothing. Okay. Now at the end of the game, what's going to happen is you get points based on all your tokens and things. So as of right now, this person is ahead by 1 point after a round. So let's suppose all 3 rounds went by. Now we're in the last round. Now we do all the tiles and things. Well, the person with the most pudding would have gotten 6 points, but there's a tie. So nothing. So it's still a 1 point game. All right. Now this person here can trade these 2 tokens in because you get 1 point for every 2 tokens. They take 1. It is now tied. But this person has 1, 2, 3. So they're going to get 3 more, which ultimately means they're going to win by 3 points. Dun, 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 dun. And that's how the game works. And I got to tell you, the components are great. The information's right there. You know what you're doing. There's a little bit of a gamble. The short term, the long term, all the information's on the table, although you're not quite sure what it might be. So it's more like you have a fuzzy picture of what might be coming up. Really, really enjoy it. For all those reasons, I actually like it more than Sushi Go. I also think it's more engaging. The parts are more interesting. I think the original Sushi Go is 2 to 4 people, but this goes up to 5. And compared to Point Salad, which is, you know, a fun game in its own way, this gives you more interaction via the swapping, and it's fun to do the rerolls and, you know, kind of take your gambles. So once again, if you're into this kind of game, you know, it is lighter than like Tiny Towns or something like that. I'd really recommend it. I think it'd be fun for a party night. So that is Sushi Roll, everyone. Check that out. And if you have questions about gameplay, let me know. Happy to tell you. And until next time, friends, take care. Bye.